Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist by Mouth Daily. Pill number 988. Alright. Are you all here to light my fire? Come on, baby. Light my fire. Dang it to heck. Set phasers to flaming. Go, gadget. Fire! Alright. So, some of you might be wondering what this show is about. People often wonder what this show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support after 988 pills, 988 shows. The number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy does she know, hell, heck. This show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood, containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber! Created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show's also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap, and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye, I am what I am, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I want to be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me, creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoon full of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python, finally lumping Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the sky with diamonds and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. April will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first on the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sempstresses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign. like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, or Pre-Exposure Protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo! So that's the show in a fairly large nutshell. Hello, everyone. Jessica, Angel, Jeff. Oh, who all did I see? We gotta get Jeff his supporter shout out. I saw Kurt Linkus. I hadn't seen him forever and ever and a day. Teresa Woolbright, hello. So, if anybody hasn't done so already and they'd like to, if you click the link in the title of the show, I'd be most grateful. And then you can endorse my nomination. I was nominated to win a Patient Health Advocate Award for doing the show. So, and I was nominated for 6 different awards. So you can nominate me or endorse the nomination 6 times. It would be so cool to win. They fly the winners to Las Vegas. Sirak Aslama, Deborah Goddard, hello. All right. You click the link. It's right in the title of the show. I can repaste it here too. I'll put it in the comments. And then once you click the link, you just scroll all the way down, and then you click the endorse button. Anyway, yeah, you click the endorse button. And then you put in your email address and your name, and you can go back in and do it 6 different times. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, babe. I have to go move my son. Hey, Audra. Let's give Jeff Rosen a supporter shout out. Yeah, babe. Jeff Rosen, thank you. Jeff Rosen, thank you. I'll be right back. I just gotta move up. the next step? Other places that raise the roof. Here we blow the motherfucking roof off and raise the floor. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, April. Or Amy, excuse me. Neil Roble, hello. Hello, everyone. All right, so hammer, hammer, screw, screw, nail, nail, pound, pound, saw, saw. Construction noises. Construction noises. All right, time to raise the floor. Hey, Kevin, long time no see, man. Welcome, welcome. So we're almost to a pill 1,000. Oh yeah, so thank you everybody who went to go to endorse the nomination. I just got 300 endorsements now, which is really awesome. Let's see. And somebody else went and did another one, so now we're at 301. Remember, you can do it 6 times though. Each person can do it 6 times. Hey, April Corso. What are you looking for?
Nothing. Ouch, that hurts.
Sorry. Hey, Mantani. Hey, Justin. Oh, thank you, Neil. Thank you, everybody. It'd be so cool to win. It'd be a great topper off for 1,000 pills. I won't get in that. I won't get an automatic finalist position. I don't think, because I saw it's like some people, like especially some of the organizations had like 1,000 endorsements. And the way it works for they'll after the endorsement period is closed, they'll have 5 finalists for each category, and 3 of the 5 finalists will be based strictly on the number of endorsements, but then 2 of the 5 finalists will be based on other things too. So like the strength of the profile, the fitness for the category, that sort of thing. And I think I have a chance. I really do. Oh, thank you, Justin. Thank you. I definitely have more. Like I went through most of the nominees for the best in show for Facebook, and I was in like top 15 or 20, I think. Oh, thank you, Jake. Thank you, Neil. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So now we gotta, what are we gonna do? Before we build up the echo chamber, we gotta break it down. Disco Jesus will help us. Yeah, I'm nominated for 6 separate awards, so thank you all who nominated me and all of you that endorsed it. I don't know, I think I have the best chance for Best in Show Facebook and for Hilarious Patient Leader Award, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Best in Show Community, but somebody else nominated me for that one, but hasn't gone through yet. Thank you, Kenneth. Hey, Elizabeth. Hello, hello, hello. Did anybody look at my profile? Does it sound okay, what I wrote? Aaron Hanos. I thought you never asked. Correct me if I'm mispronouncing that. Aaron Hanos, we love you. Correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Aaron. Welcome. Welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist. You were wondering what the show is about? People often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 988 pills, 988 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell. Boy, does she know. Hell, I mean, heck, this show has it all. Oh, thanks, Eric. Thank you. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas, and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record, and cylinders played on the 19th century, Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood, containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warp nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity. Oh good, I'm glad. Punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. Hey Mary. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show's also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Cast Away, a quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Hi, James. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye, I Am What I Am, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha ha. Come up to the lab. See what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me. Chill me. Full. Fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button. A corny ear of Dumbo. A college try of I Spy. Couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoon full of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python, finally lumping Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the Sky with diamonds and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. April will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sempstresses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign, like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. I already said hi, James. Hey, Christina. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, hey, Amy Baca. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, or pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now. And it's 1969. Free love. Woo. Oh, good. Good for you, man. After I get set up here, I'll do a dab with you. Oh, I get sick if I drink, especially if I've been smoking weed, too. Like, I just get the spins. That sucks, Christina. Sometimes if you log out of Facebook and log back in, that can help fix up video problems. If it's just on your end, but it can, yeah. It like clears the cache or something. Yay! Alright, we're getting almost here. We're almost set up. Oh, I'm doing alright today, Christina. I've been having a hard time lately, but today's okay. Today's a good day. Or good enough, at least. Dang it to heck. Aaron, it's the sampling demo on the Casio LK175 keyboard down here, right down there. Yep, I gave you a shout out. You might have missed that part, right? If you sample something on the microphone, then you hit the keys, like it repeats your name, and then once you hit the sampling demo, it weaves whatever you sampled last into this funky beat. Hey, Jonathan. What's that, Neil? Same as fuck what? Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. Kate Bake. I thought you'd never ask. All will be revealed. One moment. Kate Bake, we love you. Kate Bake, we love you. Welcome, Kate Bake, and everyone else, to Jason is a Social Scientist, by Mouth Daily, pill number 988. We can get you a shout out, James. Wait till the middle of the premise here, and then I'll get you a shout out. So you were wondering what the show is about, Kate? People often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication, live on the Book of Face, each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. Where's my trolley? Dang it to heck, where's my trolley? And if I'd have people take only... Wait, no, where was I? Where was I? I messed up because I did the trolley. Let's see. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 988 pills, 988 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Hey, Marky Mark. Ding dong bell. Boy, does she nail hell. I mean, heck, this show has it all. It's like the mini fireplace. Go gadget, mini fireplace. I like to say the show is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcast on record and cylinders played on the 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also the Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warp nacelles, creating a static warp bubble, and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, thanks Neon, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show's also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mark and Mindy. Nanu, nanu, a dash of Mr. Ed and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, ow, 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 an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Love you too, man. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye, I am what I am, a whole block, hey Sarah, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from Sexual Transylvania, ha ha. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver. With anticipation. Touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me. Chill me. Fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button. A corny ear of Dumbo. A college try of I Spy. A couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross. A spoonful of Mary Poppins and the Full Monty Python, finally lumping Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the Sky with diamonds and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. April will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies, the Supermen, and their boners will always be spinsters and seamstresses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign, like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. Thank you, Neil. Except no imitations. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, or pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now. And it's 1969. Free love. Woo. So that's the show in a fairly large nutshell. I like to think, Sarah, that it's not just crazy, but it's crazy and it has a purpose too. And I like to think that that maybe not every show on Facebook has the same kind of message or underlying whatever. Pat myself on the back. Anyway, you could nominate me for an award if you wanted. Just click the link on the show and then never mind. Thomas P.I. is back. No, I was already nominated. You can endorse my nomination. Shameless self-promotion. Oh yeah, James Phillips, I forgot. I was supposed to do it when I was doing the Antisup. James Phillips, we love you! Hey, is Audra still here? I didn't get Audra her supporter shout out. Audra, are you still here? That'd be awesome if you did, James. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you for. You can do it up to 6 times. I'll share the link again here. If you follow this link and then you just put in your email address and you do it 6 times to nominate me for all 6 or endorse all 6 nominations. Thank you, Amy. I'm going to share the show here. This time I'll go to the HAB groups. Got one more. Thank you. Let's see. We're at 302 endorsements now. You can if you hit reply on it, or it's also in the title of the show. So like if you hit the reply button, the link will pop up like that. Yeah, the rainbow tunnel was you can't even do that effect anymore on Facebook. There was this acid filter that on the Facebook Live, and then what the acid filter does was like it changes any green color in the screen to red, and any red color to blue, and any blue color to green, and so it just makes false colors. But then when you point the camera right at the TV screen, and so it makes sort of like an infinity mirror. like it alternates color every time it goes back and forth, like and so you get this like like a red version of me, and then a blue version and a green version, and it's like it looks like an infinity mirror, and then you just turn it a little bit to the right, it like everything starts spinning and falling in on itself. And I used to do the show from just like standing in front of the TV with the camera pointed at the TV, and just like make infinite copies of myself. And I called that the Rainbow Tunnel because there was like all these multiple colors here. Hey, Hammond Mark, hello. Good to see you, sir. Jane Tamasia, hello. Oh, nothing too exciting. Oh. Jonathan Lee, I just cry. I just cry. Let's see. I'm a big crier. I'm a big crybaby. It's about time for and I do a dab then, usually. I can't see Neil's comment. Neil's comment came out. I saw just his name down here, but let's see if it shows up on here. When do I? So the nomination period and everything ends July 28th, and I think right away you'll find out if I'm in the top, if I'm one of the immediate finalists. 3 of the 5 finalists are determined by the number of endorsements, and then if I don't have enough endorsements to make it into the, then there's also 2 other finalist spots for each category. And yeah. Oh, well, it's a little early for story time. We usually do the story time in the last hour. We'll start story time in about 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 10 minutes. I hope so, Neil. I hope so. I'm excited about it. I'd be so excited to win. I mean, I'm getting my hopes up, of course. I shouldn't. But it's hard not to get my hopes up with all of you helping out to endorse me. And Shara Williamson. Was Audra still here? I didn't see Audra. But let's get Shara. Let's get Shara Williamson a supporter shout out. Shara Williamson, thank you! Shara Williamson, thank you! It's been quite a while since I beamed anyone in, Jane. It's been a while. It's been a while. Let's get some new words of the day. Greed and tempt were... Oh, thank you, Neil. It would be a great cherry on the top, on top of the Social Science Sunday. After 1,000 pills It'd be so cool. Nope, the group chat's long gone. Do it now. Thigh. Oh, show me some thigh. Caused some. It was lit. It also caused some headaches. Just one or two people ruined it for the rest of us. I'm ecstatic to be between your thighs. We're getting along pretty well, Jane. Pretty well. Yeah, I just couldn't handle the conflicts. Did she now, Amy Baca? Baby got back? This is what we be dabbing off of. Oh, I gotta share the show before we dab too. Share to the HIV groups. Let's see, we'll go to people living with HIV. Pause Place, a support place for people living with HIV. The Digital Living Quilt, advocacy for HIV/AIDS. The Voice of HIV. HIV/AIDS education support. The Hive, which I don't think has anything to do with HIV. Positive living with HIV. HIV positive living. HIV/AIDS dating free. HIV positive dating around the world. People living with and affected by HIV. Be strong enough to talk about your HIV status. International place for people with HIV and a day with HIV. Also, U equals U. All right. How come you turned on the dab? It's pretty much the same thing as the using the cartridges. Maybe a little bit stronger, just because you can get more at once. I like the cartridges too. cartridges, like concentrated cartridges of concentrated THC. Hey, Tim Sanders. Yeah, did you have to work at the grocery store, or you just going in to shop? Like, if you're like have to, if you've never done a dab before, and the first time I did a dab, I felt like I was tripping. Because I had like a pen that you could put wax in the top of it. It wasn't a cartridge. It was just like an open coil that you put wax on top of. And I'd been using that for a few weeks. Like I'd been getting, and I didn't have my own rig or whatever. And my friend brought his rig over, and we used the same stuff that I'd been smoking out of the pen, but I did it off of his rig, and it was like a totally different experience. Like I just got this big film of sweat all over me, which I do when I start tripping, and like I just like I don't know, like anxiety, like feelings of impending doom, things like that that I get when I trip. Yeah, I think that's true. Seems like I have anxiety no matter what. I'm glad you had a good time. Let's see here. How'd you get rid of it, Tim? Hey, Jared. Oh, I'm hanging in there. I might get a glass of water here. Anybody have any questions? Any answers? It is a question and answer show. like shit. I felt dirty. I felt like dirty, all like the kind of dirty that doesn't wash off. Well, at first I hoped it was a false negative. Like, I had gotten hand, foot, and mouth disease, which is like just sores in your mouth. You know, toddlers get it, and adults can get it, but they just don't normally. And I caught it from my son, and normally adults don't get it. And I already had like yeast in the corner of my lips, like a few months earlier, and so made me go get. That's what prompted me to go get tested. Like this was, but when I went and got tested, like it was like 2 or 3 days, and I hadn't heard back from the doctor. So I called and he said, he's like, he listed off all the other STDs. He's like, those are all negative. And they got to HIV, and we're just waiting on the HIV results. And I said, okay. And that felt odd to me, because like I didn't think it usually took 3 days. And then he had to fess up that he lied to me, because he called back and he's like, what I wanted to do was wait until I got the final results confirmed from, because they have to send out the blood work to the Mayo Clinic to get the final diagnosis. Like there's the rapid test that they do usually within 24 hours, and but the blood that they sent to Mayo Clinic coagulated or whatever, so they couldn't do the test, and so he had to call me back in to get another blood draw. So this was a couple days, like a day or two, like this was like the day 5. I had to go back in to get my blood drawn again to see if it really was true, and and I still had this hope that it was going to be a false positive, because one of the things that can cause a false positive is a recent viral illness, and I just had the hand, foot, mouth disease, and I was like just hoping that caused a false positive, so then I had to wait, like, I forget how long. I think it was like another week or 2. And this, like, wait, like, not knowing. And then, and hoping against hope. And we went on we already had a road trip planned, and we were driving to Colorado. And we were in Iowa deciding whether we should drive through Nebraska or go up through South Dakota. And we just decided to go through South Dakota. And I got the phone call from the doctor, and he's like, it's for sure. And I'm like, is there any chance? No, he's like, no, it's pretty certain. And so I was pumping gas in Iowa when I found out for sure. And it was a good thing that I was out on that road trip, because I think I would have gone to bed and never gotten up again. But like it was good to be surrounded by like nature's splendor, right? Like the Badlands are gorgeous, and we went up to Pikes Peak, and I didn't take it well. Laura didn't take it well. It was a rough road trip. Laura punched me in the nose on the top of Pikes Peak. Yeah, and I'm still reeling on some levels. I don't know about that. I feel pretty broken. I don't know. I just haven't been like able to take care of myself the way I did before. I just like hide here in this fantasy world. It's the only place that I feel like, I don't know, comfortable, I guess. He has AIDS, not HIV. And thank you, Kim. Thank you, Neil. This is one of my favorite sayings is like, I'm paraphrasing here, like that, a perfect vase, like that isn't cracked, it doesn't, like, could have been made, is beautiful, it's a beautiful thing, but it could have been made 1,000 years ago, or it could have been made today, like, and but a cracked vase, like, it tells a story. It tells like a little something about where it's been. You can imagine somebody handling it and it having a life, right? It's not, and I like that, like the idea that the things that break us are like the things that make us, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but it's the thing that tells a story about us. It makes us who we are, because we are nothing but a collection of stories. And I like to say that I've just been broken so many times that, like, there's nothing left but dust, and I'm just dust in the wind. And so in a sense, I'm truly free. Does your brother have AIDS or HIV? Like, I don't know. I don't know if you're being serious or not. It's like, it's not even a very nice way to address it, I guess. Hopefully he's okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Does he not have access to medications or other barriers to it? It's never too late to get back on meds. I don't know where you guys. So it sounds like maybe if he's doing okay, he probably has HIV rather than AIDS. AIDS is like when you're really sick. You have to be really sick to have AIDS. Or when you have AIDS, you get really sick. Or you tend to. Hey, Mantani. Thanks for being here, Jared. Yeah, so here, I won't presume to know. I won't presume to know your brother's case, but like I guess like he could technically still have. I've heard there's. I think there's more than one school of thought. Like, I think some people will say that once you have an AIDS diagnosis, you'll always have an AIDS diagnosis. Others will say once your white blood cell returns to a normal level that you no longer have that diagnosis. I don't know which. I don't know. I think. But AIDS is like an outdated term almost now. They say stage 3 HIV. AIDS is still used, but Brett Whisker. I'm picturing David Attenborough's voice right now. Brett. Hey, Sam Stately. How are you, Brett? How are you doing, sir? I'm sure that's not true, Jessica. Right back at you, Sam. I love you. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. Good, good. I didn't see your question, Sam. Yeah, we got some old timers in here. Oh yeah. Most people start off as trolls. Maybe not most, but a good chunk of people. Yeah, there's like stage 1 is like the acute phase when you first get diagnosed, like, or right when you first contract it. Like the flu-like symptoms. Like people just get like like body aches, fever. Not everybody, but a lot of people get like when they first get exposed to the virus, as what they call seroconversion, as the virus starts being like showing up in their blood. That's called stage 1. So those early symptoms. and then stage 2 is right after that until the white blood cell count gets below a certain level, like normal, like it's, I don't know, between 800 and 1200, somewhere around there. Mine's like 1200. But if it gets below 200, that's considered AIDS or stage 3 HIV. And stage 2 can last a long time, like on average probably 7 to 10 years. It takes that long for the virus just slowly, your body's always producing more white blood cells, and the virus is always attacking them. And so it's like there's this constant war between your white blood cells and the virus, and your body can put up a good fight for 7 to 10 years, but eventually just like it can't do it anymore, and the virus wins over. And the medicine stops it from replicating. Like the virus, without the medication, keeps replicating, so then it attaches to new white blood cells, and then it reproduces inside that white blood cell, releases a bunch more to attack more white blood cells, and so it's like this exponential process. The more white blood cells that are made, the more virus is made. And what the medication does is it halts the replication of the virus. And so then your body's able to clear it, most of it. Like the virus once it stops replicating, eventually your body clears what's there, and the virus, within 4 weeks of it stopping replicating for most people, 4 weeks of taking the medication, the amount of virus inside the blood goes to an undetectable amount. Even with the most fanciest tests, they can't measure the virus in my blood because of the medication. I don't know when he's going to be on the show again. Hey, Gordon Corson. Hello. But the problem is it becomes undetectable in the blood, but somewhere deep inside there's a reservoir. They don't know exactly where. Maybe but once you stop taking the medications that stop it from replicating, it crawls out of wherever it's hiding at and starts replicating in the blood again. And it comes back with a vengeance too. Yeah, Levi's fun. He's a fun dude. I'm really glad I met him. The medication basically just stops the virus. Your body doesn't have a lot to do with it, I don't think. I guess there's 12. There's how many? Yeah, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 once a day pills that you can take, like brand name pills. 11 different ones that contain, like this one Biktarvy is one of those brand name pills, and Biktarvy contains 3 separate medications, and all of those, what did I say, 11 different once a day pills contain different combinations of medications. So they're all combination pills, and any one of those I could take and it would prevent HIV. And then on top of that, so those are the just one pill once a day regimens. And then, so that's all those ones on the left there are those are all one pill once a day regimens. And then these over here are individual medications that you could take, like they give you one from this group, one from this group, and one from this group, you know, and they get, instead of giving you a combination of one pill that has 3 medications in it, they give you 3 pills that only have 1 in it. Because like some people like there's some people that have because they don't take their medications the way they prescribe, they like miss doses a lot. It's sort of like antibiotics that the virus will develop resistance, and so some people they can't take. Some people their options get pretty limited if they've gone through a lot of those. You know, there's 11 different pills of the once a day ones, but let's say they're resistant to one medication from in each of those pills. Instead, they could take. There's those other. There's the other groups of medications over there that they could take a different combination that they're not resistant to. To take some ibuprofen again. They all do the like. Well, let's see. There's like a couple different groups. There's like one type of medication stops it from entering in the white blood cell. There's probably like 20 different. Let's see. What are they called? So there's nucleotide transcriptase inhibitors, and I think that those are the ones that stop it from replicating. And I think there's also these protease inhibitors, and I think those are, don't quote me on this, but I think those are the ones that stop it from entering the cell. So there's some that stop the virus from replicating, making new copies of itself. And then there's other medications that stop the virus once it's already replicated to stop it from entering the white blood cell. So, and neither strategy works by itself. Like the virus can work around only one medication. Like you can't take just one medication and prevent HIV or stop it from, or to treat HIV. You can't treat HIV with just one medication. It takes at least 2. And up until recently, all the treatment regimens all included 3 medications. It took 3 separate medications to work together to keep the virus suppressed. Yeah, it's sometimes we do trivia. I had this 1996 copy of Trivial Pursuit, and it's crazy how much HIV was in the it was part of the zeitgeist, right? It was like how there was just so many questions related to HIV, and one of them, the one that shocked me the most, was that one of the questions was, what is the number one cause of death between people between 18 and 40 or something like that, or I forget the age group. And it was HIV or AIDS. Hey, Joanna. Oh. Sorry. I hope you feel better soon. Oh, Sam asks about, does it prevent HIV like before? Those pills do prevent HIV. That's what PrEP does. It's the same medications that I take as probably one of, I don't know. Remember we talked about those nucleoside transcriptase inhibitors or whatever, the ones, I think those are the ones that stop it from copying itself. And then the probably protease inhibitor too. Like they take like Truvada is a 2 medication combination pill that, in addition to one other medication, was used to treat HIV and still is used to treat HIV. But when people take it, people who don't have HIV take it, it stops the HIV from entering their cells. And prevents them from ever contracting it in the first place. Pretty much everything around my life focuses on this show. I like to swim though, Jonathan. Lately my kids, I got for Father's Day, I got virtual reality, so I've been playing I hadn't played video games for quite a few years, but theoretically, theoretically, my pill would work for PrEP as well. For any treatment for HIV would be successful for treating it. For PrEP, I mean, it hasn't been tested, but the post-exposure protocol involves pretty much. I think that involves multiple different types of HIV medications, but Truvada has 2 medications in it. But if you're taking it for PEP, for post-exposure protocol, if you think you've been exposed to HIV and you go see your doctor and say, I think I might have been exposed to HIV, they'll give you the 3 medication combination pill, or give you they'll give you 3 medications for 2 weeks or something like that, and that is, I think it's something like 99% effective at preventing HIV. So they have basically it's like the morning after pill for HIV, and they have, I think of PrEP as like birth control for HIV, and PEP is the morning after pill. No, I don't know. I don't know. I always made I think I was talked about this before, but I always made guys wear condoms if they fucked me. But it was probably 5 or 6 times that I didn't wear a condom. That's probably it was probably one of those. There's one person in particular. There was one time in particular that I don't know who it was, or just met them that one time, but. You've been around here for a long time, Brett. You've been supporting me for a long time. I appreciate it. You've been around here for a long time, Brett. You've been supporting me for a long time. I need a glass of water. You know, like PrEP and PEP, they're both, like I said, they're both 99% effective. Like there have been cases of people of PrEP failure because all but one of them of the failures of PrEP were related because the type of virus that they were exposed to was resistant to Truvada, or one of the ingredients in Truvada. So they got a resistant form of HIV. But there was one person that contracted HIV, and they got a non-resistant form. And there's like debate about the scientific community what exactly caused that. But one of the things they think might have happened is that the person may have at first got a resistant form of the virus that stayed like in a localized area in the body, right? Like assuming it was, from anal sex, that like you can just in those tissues, like the rectal tissues or whatever, the virus was hanging out. And then later on, because this person was extremely sexually active, and they think later on that the person, so they had this slow brewing infection, because sometimes the resistant forms, the mutated forms of the virus aren't as virile, they don't infect as well. Because they're mutant forms that had to overcome medications to, anyway, so they're stunted. They're basically stunted viruses, I think. Anyway, and so that was slow growing, but then a non-resistant form came in and replaced it. That's what one theory goes, and overgrew the non-resistant form, but like the resistant form opened the door for the virus. I don't know. Well, only in this case because the person was on PrEP, I guess, and it was just keeping it. I don't know. Like this, like I said, like it doesn't really lay down. Like it doesn't lay dormant though in people. At least that's what my nurse practitioner first said to me. She said that almost everybody will, if they have HIV, will test positive for it within 3 months. So PrEP does have is 99% effective, and PEP, I don't know as much about that, but I think that it's highly effective, but it's not 100%. But my point was that PEP and PrEP aren't only 99% effective, but U equals U, that's 100%. There's not the risk, so you can't say when somebody's on PrEP or PEP that there's zero risk that they're going to get HIV. But with U equals U, you can say that the scientific consensus is that you can say the risk is zero. And there's been documented episodes of the failure of PrEP and PEP, but for all the studies, like now for U equals U, or one lasted 8 years, another lasted 2 years. I think the other three, so one that lasted 8 years, and I think the other three studies all lasted 2 years. Yeah, I'll answer that question next, Brett. And what all those studies followed, they followed couples like my wife and I. My wife is HIV negative, and I'm living with HIV. So all the couples that participated in the study were like my wife and I. One of them was living with HIV, and the other person didn't have HIV. And the person that didn't have HIV that was participating in the study couldn't be taking PrEP, couldn't be using condoms, couldn't use any sort of protection, and so yeah, they were just straight up barebacking it. And they followed these couples over the course of, like I said, 8 years and 2 years, depending on which study. And they concluded at the end of all those studies that not a single person living with HIV transmitted the virus to their partner. And there was like some 150,000 documented anal sex acts, and just lots of sex without one single transmission. And even before the 8-year study, just when those 2-year studies came out, all like the UN on AIDS, the CDC, like all the eminent doctors in the field, like everybody's signing on to the consensus statement that U equals U, undetectable equals untransmissible. And so yeah, the science is super rock solid. And but for side effects on PrEP, there's side effects with the same as side effects that the HIV medications have. They can cause kidney problems. It can cause bone loss. Kidney problems and bone loss are the two biggest things. But the instances are really rare, and just like the instances with side effects when you have HIV are really rare, but they do happen. Yeah. Good. I hope your head feels better. Probably takes a little while though. I mean, you do see more and more commercials for PrEP, and I think more people need to know. Like, I mean, I think in bigger cities like San Francisco and things like that, like I want to say like up to 80% of the gay population is on PrEP, and the rates of HIV have plummeted. No, I haven't experienced any side effects. No. Yeah, and PrEP is widely prescribed. It just more people need to know. Like dispelling ignorance is, you know, like when I talk about dispelling ignorance, it's my own ignorance that I would seek to dispel. At least what, like, I try to teach people what I would have wanted to know before I was diagnosed. Because PrEP was around when I contracted HIV. I told medical professionals about my sexual activity. Like, they could have intervened before I contracted HIV. And so if more people just knew about it, if I knew about it, if I would have just typed HIV into the Google search box, or if one of the nurses or doctors that I came across, you know, like, had told me about it, I probably wouldn't have contracted HIV. Most people who can get PrEP if they need it, either it's definitely covered by insurance or most insurance, and manufacturer will cover the copay, and I think there's programs to pay for it if you don't have insurance as well. That's good, Brett. I think where you live in, I know you live in California, like, progressive place. But yeah, I would have wanted to know about PrEP. I would have wanted to know about U equals use. I wouldn't have been afraid of people. Yeah, I think my doctors and nurses, well, because I was like in the psych hospital before I was diagnosed. I was really open about my sexual activity. Like, those doctors and nurses really dropped the ball. it's awesome that you guys know now, and you can tell your doctors and your nurses when you go in, you can ask them if they know. Like their ignorance really needs to be dispelled more urgently than most people's. There's a lot of people that still hold a lot of wrong ideas in the medical community. There's a lot of doctors that don't know about or support U equals U. And at this point, that's just malpractice. Like, any doctor that's not teaching their patients with HIV about U equals U, or if they are instilling any doubt about the science, like, oh, you should still be using condoms, or you should, there's still some risk. If a doctor is doing that, they're like, it is malpractice. Because the stigma of HIV is is something really the fear that you might be contagious to other people, or you could harm other people. It's like a really big weight to bear. And like I said, Neil, you asked how I felt when I was first diagnosed. Like, dirty, I think, is like how I felt, and like this dirty that doesn't wash off. And U equals U. That's like, I like to say, it's a cleansing message. Like, it's possible to feel clean again. See, that's awesome. Spreading the message like a virus. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you for being here. You guys were asking good questions tonight, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys for... Sometimes when I ask for questions, no one asks anything, so... I think, Brett, I think there was a lot of delay at with U equals U messaging. CDC was especially slow compared to other agencies. But they're on board now. I get, it just took pressure. And I think there's some initial, and there's still like some feeling in the feelings by some, like in the medical community, and that PrEP is, like, somehow gives license for people to and they're worried that because they aren't going to use condoms, that other STDs are gonna go up. And there is some evidence that I'm not sure if there's evidence. I'm not going to say that for sure, that might be the case. But it's also true that all the other STDs are either completely curable or eminently treatable. We're just talking about just facts about HIV. Ace, how are you? Welcome. And so I think there might be just some judgmental feelings about types of sex people are having, and just like puritanical kind of bullshit. You're asking questions I can't answer. I don't know the politics very well. Share wants the premise. Somebody new here. I broke the phonograph horn. It was already broken, but I dropped it and I heard it smash into a million pieces. The little one that goes up here. Dang it to heck. Get down here, Neil. You're not that far away. You're like Minnesota or something, right? I know you're a Midwestern boy. Michigan. I'm in Wisconsin. Yeah. Whereabouts are you, Rhea? No way. Whereabouts are you, Rhea? Neil's got it. Yep, Madison. What about you? Neil's got it. Yep, Madison. What about you? No, I don't see why that would be necessary. You wouldn't treat someone with HIV differently anyway. Like you treat everybody with universal precautions when you're in medical, in a hospital. You treat everybody. And universal precautions protect against HIV. You don't have to do anything extra. No, there'd be no, and I think that would be discriminatory to force someone to wear an ID. Yeah, it's like almost like a pink triangle or something like that. Like force someone to get tattooed. We were just talking, Ace, about that's how a lot of people start off. Where are you? Are you in Muskegon? No. That sounds like it's up north somewhere. Where are you? Are you in Muskegon? Sounds like it's up north somewhere. Well, I think if you're on, I don't know. I think if So if you're unconscious for more than 24 hours, well, your HIV is probably the least of your problems. I could see that for everybody, you know, like as long as it's not, you know, like I think people's medical IDs, like, you know, digital medical IDs, like in phones, and like as long as like it's opt-in, right, and it's not specifically for HIV. I think you know, I think that's okay. I think it's, but maybe all the comments aren't coming up. I saw the last comment I saw from you, Ace, was, "I came here to troll, but I became a fan for a few." A Waukesha. I think they know where that's at. Give you a big virtual hug, Jessica. What did I mention? Oh, you're not too far. You're not too far away. I have no idea what we're talking about. Mention the mention. That sounds like some sort of cryptic Zen puzzle, Zen riddle. I'm gonna dang the dang show. I'm gonna go to all the video groups this time. All right, we'll go to Art and Video and Me, Facebook viral videos, craziest videos, art design, abstract illusion, video, painting, something, crazy videos, adult videos, videos, art, funny, share, WTF videos, live video, OMG videos, amazing design, art, and videos around the world, trendy videos, funny videos, and trolling live videos. think I just did that. Where'd my water go to, though? I need another sip of water. Oh, that sounds fun. Do they have miniatures? I love miniatures. The picky pick. Picky picky. Oh, that sounds fun. Thanks. What did Brett say? What's it called? See, I can't only see half of it. An air show in Muskegon? I'll stop in if I make it down there. Hey, Kelsey Moore. Ace, I'm glad I saw your comment on here. I didn't see it up there. I'm glad you finally got a shout out. Like I said, if somebody's been here a long time, it feels like after a while, it feels like, of course, I've given them a shout out. Because I try to focus on giving new people shout outs, but. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, Burlap and Blaze Marketplace. It's rhymey too, I like it. Die Ecstatic sounds like, what does it sound like? It sounds like a nude figure skating event. Alright, I'll check it out, Rhea. Oh, that's fun, Kelsey. I was thinking about playing an old episode of the show I think we're supposed to play next time was going to be Pill 35 or Pill 36. But I think I was doing Whippets during that one. Oh, I'm glad I got it right. I wasn't 100% sure, but I'm glad I got it. So I'm scared to watch it. Do you guys want to see it? I don't know how embarrassing it is. I don't know. Thank you, Ace. I dare you share. There's they were dark days. Some of them. I still get the calendar out sometimes. That's part of my religion. That'd be fun, Kelsey. I would want to go to something like that just for the drugs alone. Maybe it wasn't on Whippets. I think there's just Whippet episodes around it. we're leaving. Jason is a social scientist by Mount Daly, bill number 35.
And we're going to do we're going to eat some strawberries and lemons with sugar on.
Strawberry and lemons with sugar on them.
And this is the starter store. And that I built.
We got a whole big show lined up for them today, don't we?
Yeah.
It's a huge show, right?
Yeah. Watch it?
Ben Wood is here. Ben Wood, I was waiting for you, man.
Yeah, we were waiting for you.
Sophie, what are you doing over there?
We were definitely waiting for you for this lemon contest.
Look at what we got. Look at what we got.
What do they say?
I don't know. They probably don't know what it is. Oh, let's see if we can do masks. That sounds like it's a new thing. Yeah. Oh, look at this.
Oh, I'll get a mask. I can get a mask. What are you gonna do? I want the happy one. I don't want that one.
Oh, yeah?
I want the happy one. I want the happy mask.
Hey, here we go. Oh. What about you? Why don't you get one?
I want a happy one.
Only Daddy gets it. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
You took my space helmet.
Yep, that's one of them.
You look so funny.
Oh, I'm so cute.
Aww.
Why don't you get these cool faces?
Oh, you get a unicorn. Can we eat now?
Now they're
No,
9 and 8.
for Jack.
This was 3 years ago,
No,
so they would
let
have
me
been
hold the phone.
You want to hold the phone?
Yeah.
Marie says hi, Jason and friends.
We're
6 and
gonna
5.
do some.
What did you call this? Was the strawberry show? Is that what you called it?
No, the strawberry and lemon.
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese for
strawberry
Alex's
lemon
birthday. I think I remember that one.
And apple juice. We got apple juice.
Yeah, we got apple juice.
Cheers.
Oh, he is so cute, isn't he?
So let's just eat a couple strawberries here. Let's see. Or should we try the lemon
This is
strawberries
before I
first?
knew to put the flip of the phone the right way.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? I'm gonna say. Sarah Jane loves apple juice.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you, Sarah.
I'm having this one.
No, I think it was Chuck E. Cheese.
What else we got going on here? Vincent
How old are your kids now, Belinda?
Mr. Bayo says, how are you? How are you, Alex? I'm good. I'm wonderful. I'm having a pretty decent day. It's weird.
Jack is
They sneak
practically a
up on you these
teenager already.
decent days.
Because right now he was sleeping in our bed,
Sarah
and
Jane says, I like your hair like
I had to
that.
carry
She
him
likes the kind of wild look,
back
man.
into his bed.
Like golden wild. Oh,
And
the lemons just
he's like a
Let me
beast.
check it out. Let me try
He's
it out.
huge. He's got big old clown feet, and he's like weighs 1,000,000 pounds.
You prefer the strawberry?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Uh-huh.
Did you do the pills?
I thought you guys said these were good. I did the pill. Yep, I did. Thank you for...
Oh, but it didn't have enough sugar.
Oh, so how much sugar do you need? I did both sides.
Oh, I love him. I love him.
Apparently.
I'm asking Jack to come.
Yeah, what the heck? All right, go ask him. Go see what's up. All right, it is a question and answer show.
Yeah.
Just go see it. Oh, nice. Nice.
We already tried. No, I forgot to close my eyes.
We were doing virtual masks, but that's even cooler.
Oh, there's a mask. And I tried. Oh, I need to do
It's
this.
been years now,
I'm gonna
right?
try it.
Can't believe how much time has gone by.
Close your eyes. I want to chew. I'm gonna get it.
Brett's still here. Good, good.
Lemon.
All right.
It's so good to
Pretty
have you guys
sour.
here.
Now you have to try the strawberry.
Ben,
Like old
Does
times.
Jack have to try
Ben
it?
asked
Where do
us-
I put this?
asks, can we ask a virtual question? The whole concept of asking if you can ask a question. May I ask you a question?
Where do I put this?
What is with that? You
Where-
just did.
This is
How presumptuous. Don't even think to ask me if you can ask me a question.
Jack. Come
And
on,
if you think
taste
to
the
ask
strawberry.
me a question, just ask
I'd
me the
consider
question.
it.
No, I don't know.
No,
No,
but
maybe you can take me ask you a very personal question.
Laura, I don't think Laura can have.
And
She's-
the answer I'll give you is yes. So
she
please
can't
ask me
have
first.
kids anymore, but I like a little girl.
Strawberry.
Really fun.
Are you sure that's strawberry? How can you tell for
The
sure?
boys would love a little sister, but
Okay, let me hand you one with your eyes closed and then see if you can tell the difference.
if I had a lot of money, maybe I'd adopt a little girl.
Wait, hang on. Okay,
What happened to my fire?
try this one.
You gave me my Star Destroyer.
Oh, oops, I'm sorry. Ben Witt says, is this a Q&A show? The original question. I believe it is. For the most part, it is. Although I still want to retain the question and question and answer aspect of the show. But for 2 or 3 days, I've been meaning to get out like a writing utensil and some paper and writing down. Okay, so I'm thinking that there'll be maybe it's what was I thinking? Like science weekend maybe? No, or no, like maybe no. I don't know. Maybe
It's one of the things I think about with the show, Neil, is like
mental health Mondays. No, I don't know.
as a future gift to
I
my
have no idea,
boys. Like
but like a day of the week,
I
every day of the
would
week,
give anything to be able to have like
maybe
just
7 themes that I really
1,000
like.
days of my
And I think that
my
are
parents
important.
just droning
And
on
we'll
about
have,
nothing.
Like there'll be a
Just to be able
bi-monthly,
to
but every
see
day
them
we'll
and-
have a special.
More strawberries.
I should get a virtual
and
psychic.
remember them.
More strawberries.
Oh my goodness, is it so past bedtime? That was supposed to be just a little snack.
More strawberries.
I will. What about eating something filling like that yogurt?
If you didn't like the Batman mask, then try this mask.
I loved it. I loved the Batman mask,
Then
man.
try this one.
Oh my goodness.
You must impress
or I'll cut you in half.
Oh, is that so? Is that so?
Yeah.
Americans don't say yogurt. Yogurt? No.
Hey, now I got my tiny Batman mask. Look at how tiny.
It'd probably be possible with all this archival footage to make a virtual Jason in the future
Where?
that interacts just very similar to the way the original one.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah, let me see.
Yogurt. Yogurt.
It's a Lego
Here,
Batman.
okay, all right, here, slip it on your head here. Ready? All right, put your head in. You know, you gotta get a little farther away. Back up. Back up. Back up. Here, here. Okay, hold still. Hold still. Hold still. Here, we'll get this on you. Okay, don't
We're
move.
still playing with forced perspective.
Bye, Batman.
We were playing with forced perspective way back then. Look at that.
Also, I need the big mask, Jack. I need the big mask.
He needs the big mask. He needs the big mask. He needs the big mask. Hurry, hurry, it's an emergency.
Yogurt.
And you're also
No sugar, you'll be up all
Yogurt.
night. I believe that to
Here.
be an old wives' tale. I've read that it is an old wives' tale.
and you're also going to see some Hot Wheels cars during the show.
Oh, and look at
There's only one.
Yeah, I'll be
Scott Baio, great minds.
I'll be
think alike,
those
right.
virtual shows in the future. It'll be perfect.
And so, yeah, so like I want like maybe a space day, a physics day, a mental health day, a sex day, yeah, maybe 2 days,
Yeah.
and then
Sex weekend. Why didn't I stick
what
with this?
else? What else? Like like maybe like a religion day. What? I know, right? Oh man. Or maybe we'll call it secular Sundays. Yeah, secular Sundays. I like that. And then what else? Gym day. Ben, boy, you gotta be quicker on the gym day. Gym day. Ha. You know you could do curls at home. You just go there to look at men's butts.
More strawberries. More strawberries. More strawberries.
Well, we can do a couch auction, Nick.
I have to like feed these things.
Let me get my
You have to feed them.
auctioneer hat on.
Strawberries.
All right, put some in that bowl over, like that white bowl over there, and then rinse them off. And then find the sharpest knife in the drawer.
You have to cut out. But I can rinse them and do that stuff. These are my stuff.
Carl says, "Hello, Maurice. I like the gym. It's filled with girls. I don't do jumping jacks in the sauna. You should, well,
Coming up
this-
next,
like sweating.
We
is
have
a great way
lovely
to
lot number
burn calories.
69. It comes in a beautiful shade of light red.
Munchy Monday.
And for the lonely troll, for the lucky lonely
Like that.
troll who makes the winning bid, it opens up to
When,
reveal
gets, like pushed on like hump day. I don't know.
not one, not two, not
So
three,
secular Sundays
not
and
four.
then hump
Count them,
days. What?
five,
What? You guys
five
are
trolls.
making
So
me
the lonely
blush.
troll will be lonely no longer.
Oh my goodness.
And you can stare at your reflection. I think most trolls
Carl's jump selfie Saturday.
love the way they look in the mirror.
Where's that horse mask?
Alright, dang it to heck. But that's not the best
What's
part.
right? Oh yeah, let's see.
It comes topped off with not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not even 9, but count them 10. 10 cum stains, these crusty areas all over here. That's all my cum. Alright,
Thankful
dang
for
it
you
to
guys,
heck.
too.
So bidding starts at tree fitty. Do I have tree fitty, tree fitty, tree
Wednesdays, Ben,
fitty?
That's horrible. It's a horrible idea. Yes, give them weapons. I know, right?
tree fitty, tree
Carl,
fitty, tree fitty.
I knew it. You're transparent, Carl. You're transparent. You're a transparent man. Is it Wednesday? It feels like a Wednesday. Oh, look at you. Wow. $350.
$350.
You did awesome, man. That was awesome. Wow. You've never done that before either, have you?
Got
That was
420.
real good.
Oh, I cancel all the bids. I quit.
Bring those over here. And then, see that knife over there? Grab that too. But get off the chair first.
I'm keeping the couch. Sorry,
Bring
Chair.
it slowly and set it right here. Thank you.
I wrote something for the people.
Alright, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. What? I what? What are you kids are just crazy.
Did he say my butt?
He wrote I butt.
No, my butt.
Here, hold this one. Hold the camera while I cut these strawberries.
I'll show them. Why is it showing my finger?
Because your finger's in the way, maybe?
It was. There's 5 people watching.
Holy mackerel.
I'm pointing the camera at you cutting. Look at it. What butt?
I want some strawberries now.
Can you guys tell me why butt jokes are so funny? Does everybody at school think they're funny? No? Just you guys?
Low battery on a show.
Oh my goodness. I think we'll be alright.
6 people are watching.
Whoa. Whoa. Do they have anything interesting to say?
I don't know. Look.
Oh, Romeo's here. Hi, Romeo. Oh, and Brian's here. You know Brian.
Yeah.
My cousin Brian.
Yeah, we know Brian.
Hi, Brian.
But what happens if Uncle Bob was watching?
Oh, we would say, hi, Bob.
Yeah,
We
we
love you.
cut all these strawberries in one show.
Holy mackerel.
Almost done with the red big strawberry. I do something weird.
Oh my goodness.
No, and then I have to add one more.
I'm afraid what it might be.
Look, guys, peeing, pooping, diarrhea. No, it's diarrhea, peeing, farting, and barking.
Is he dying? That man sounds terribly ill. Oh.
This is November of 2016. I started the show in October of 2016. And then this is pill 35.
Hold it farther away.
Someone has a question.
It says, what are the strawberries for? What are the strawberries for, guys?
They're horrible. They're for like this contest.
The contest? What contest? Oh, yeah, like who likes strawberries and who likes lemon?
Yeah.
It really is insane how long I've been doing
Did
this.
you know?
Only an insane person would do
Tomorrow
this.
can we break gingerbread cookies into why? Who likes strawberries or who likes gingerbread cookies? Would that sound good?
shock artist.
What is bulking up with your wife?
Are you shock artist?
I don't know.
Like woke up with your
And
wife?
he pooped everywhere. Look.
You know how I feel about guns, right?
Yeah.
They
I'm
scare
not
me.
sure.
We're scared of guns.
Me too.
Mom.
And I'm gonna draw a snake getting
Mom.
Oh my god. By the underground. By the underground?
Underground people, oh my gosh.
No, or the devil.
I like underground people better. They sound
The
scary.
devil is burning his feet.
There.
Strike the devil. Strike the devil. You hold the show now. And so many guns are taken together. You're floating good. Sugary?
Let's see.
Sounds good, man.
Celery.
I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, sugared celery. I don't even know what that would be like.
And he's bleeding too.
More sugar, more sugar, more sugar.
And look, he's bleeding too. And he's Darth Vader.
I do. Would you like to hear it?
Look what I did.
That's gruesome, man. Gruesome. How do you think that man must feel? He's so sick
Actually-
and then a gun gets pointed at him.
I drew it with a
Try to like.
Oh, okay.
and it was bleeding.
Oh, let's go for it. Let's finish this video and then we'll. I think it's almost done. Yeah, just like 3 minutes left.
I don't know.
After this, I did definitely walk nice.
I think I blame YouTube.
That's weird. Look at it. It's smelly. And look. Like. And look. And look. Baby Batman screaming.
Hey, Brandon, how's it going, man? How's it going? I cleaned today. I did the dishes.
Baby Batman screaming.
Let's see. It's baby Batman screaming. I like it.
And I'm gonna draw a tiny.
I hear you, Neil. I wish I had the same thing for my.
It'd be funny if you had a
for
way
my
too giant
parents.
size cape, maybe too, right? No, I think tiny capes are fun. Everything's fun.
Look at
There's not too much I wouldn't give for that.
Man, oh man.
And he's pooping too.
No, I know what you mean. No, I wish I. Not so jealous that I'd take it away from them, but I sure wish I had it.
Coming from the ceiling.
Are those are the kind of pictures you draw in art class too?
No. And I'm like,
What do you draw in art class?
I don't know. And look, there's someone pooping on the second floor. Everywhere.
Second floor of where?
Of this building they're in. They're in and look. He's diarrhea.
Okay. I think it's almost bedtime.
And there's the diarrhea drop.
Hey, for real.
Those guys are you.
Brandon is fan-freaking-tastic, as always. That's awesome. All right, and Mr. Bayo, he wanted a bite of the strawberries. So here you go. Everybody gets a bite of the strawberries. And all right. So you feed him the lemon.
They do love butt jokes.
Right towards that hole.
That guy pooping on the second floor is about to be shot.
Oh, yes. No one wants... At least I don't want to keep hearing about people getting shot. All right.
I'm gonna share the show real quick.
Good night.
The art groups,
Good night.
art artists, art club, Live Art Nation, Absurdistan Art, USA Art Gallery, Show Your Work, Art Promotion, Earth Refugees, Art Dreamers, 420 News World Headquarters, Art of the Initiate, Sock Party, Art Group, That Weird Art Group, Art Collectors, Gifts of the Heart, The Earth Suckhole, Knights of the Order of Pretzel, New York Time for Art, Art Dreamers, House of Art, Drug Fueled Rants, Art Friends, Art, Street Art Worldwide, Rick and Morty Fan Art, Where Drug Themed Art Intersects, something, Art House Poosh, Delusion or something, Lowbrow Art, Art Equals Life, Art Freaks Global People's Choice Awards, Save the Earth Cooperative, Wonderful Master Art, Art Freaks Global, Artists Trying to Make a Living. Facebook Live Now, Facebook Live, Savage My Live and Selfie, 18 plus, Facebook Live streaming, Spiritual Selfies, Rate My Selfie, and Roast My Selfie Worldwide. Alright, let's get the canoe song. What's it called again? I've taken quite a fancy to you. Hey, Joseph. Gummy broke open. Damn it. You almost ruined the photograph too. I'm not too far away, Mr. Hammond. Not what's in here is not what I expected. It's like the sticky, almost like super glue consistency. It's like glue. It's really sticky. I thought it was like sand or something. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Oh, we got a science denier in here, huh? Suppose the earth is flat, too. Hey, Joey. Let me just wash my hands and I'll get that going. That glue stuff was stuck to the top of the phonograph. Luckily I was able to peel it off. two pieces of the set tonight. The miniature phonograph horn to go up here, and the Gumby down here. I'm really disappointed. first time this happened. You're welcome, Brett. Try to break it out only for special occasions, and do it. Tonight was a special occasion. I'm gonna do it again for Pill 1000 probably. Try to break it out only for special occasions. I'm gonna do it again for Pill 1000. It's almost story time. Which one are we going to read tonight? We had a lovely love affair last night. That's one of my favorite ones. I think we'll read All the Pussy We Want. All the Pussy We Want by... Oh, I hope you're here too, Neil. I should have a good time, I think. Probably be anticlimactic. All right, I guess it's time. Maybe we'll do one short dab beforehand. Do this dab and then we'll read. Welcome back, Jessica. You made it just in time for story time. Hope your headache's better. Jacob came back. Welcome. You made it just in time for story time. We had a pretty good night tonight. People asked a lot of good questions about HIV and was able to do a lot of education. It was good stuff. Hey, Ada. Welcome. I love that thing. Really good friend of the show. She gave it to me. I gotten a lot of use out of that thing. All right. So we're gonna read All the Pussy We Want. All the Pussy We Want by Charles Bukowski. It's a short story from The Most Beautiful Woman in Town and Other Stories. So here is All the Pussy We Want. Harry and Duke. The bottle sat between in a cheap motel in downtown LA. It was Saturday night in one of the cruelest towns in the world. Harry's face was quite round and stupid, with just a tip of a nose looking out, and you hated his eyes. In fact, you hated Harry when you looked at him, so you didn't look at him. Duke was a little younger, a good listener, with just the slightest of smiles on when he listened. He liked to listen. People were his biggest show, and there wasn't any admission charge. Harry was unemployed and Duke was a janitor. They'd both done time and would be in jail again. They knew it. It didn't matter. The fifth was about 1/3 finished, and there were empty beer cans on the floor. They rolled their cigarettes with the easy calm of men who had lived hard and impossible lives before the age of 35 and were still alive. They knew it was all a bucket of shit, but they refused to quit. "See," said Harry, taking a drag. "I chose you, man. I can trust you. You won't panic. I think your car can make it. We split it right down the middle." "Tell me about it," said Duke. "You won't believe it." "Tell me." "Well, there's gold out there, laying on the ground. Real gold. All you gotta do is walk out and pick it up. I know it sounds crazy, but it's there. I've seen it." "What's the catch?" "Well, it's an army artillery grounds. They shell all day and sometimes at night. That's the catch. It takes guts. But the gold is there. Maybe the shell's broken out of the earth, I don't know. But they usually don't shell at night." We go in at night?" "Right. And just pick up the stuff off the ground. We'll be rich. All the pussy we want. Think of it. All the pussy we want." It sounds good. "In case they start shelling, we leap into the first shell hole. They ain't gonna aim there again. If they hit the target, they're satisfied. If they haven't, the next shot will be somewhere else." That sounds logical. Harry poured some whiskey. "But there's another catch." "Yeah?" "There's snakes out there. That's why we need 2 men. I know you're good with a gun. While I pick up the gold, you watch for the snakes and blow their heads off. There are rattlers out there. I think you're the man to do it. Why the hell not? They sat smoking and drinking, thinking about it. All that gold, said Harry. All that pussy. You know, said Duke, it might have been that those guns blew open an old treasure chest. Whatever it is, there's gold out there. They thought about it a while longer. How do you know, asked Duke, that after you gather all the gold, I won't shoot you out there? Well, I just gotta take that chance. Do you trust me? I don't trust any man. Duke opened another beer, poured another drink. Shit, there's no use in me going to work on Monday, is there? Not now. I feel rich already. I kinda do too. All a man needs is some kind of break, said Duke. Then people treat him like a gentleman. Yeah. Where's this place at? Asked Duke. You'll see when we get there. We split down the middle? We split down the middle. You're not worried about me shooting you? Why do you keep bringing that up, Duke? I might shoot you. Jesus, I never thought of that. You wouldn't shoot a pal, would you? Are we friends? Well, yes, I'd say so, Harry. There'll be enough gold and pussy for both of us. We'll be set for life. No more parole officers, no more dishwashing gigs. The Beverly Hills whores will be chasing us. Our worries are over. Do you really think we can bring it off? Sure. Is there really gold down there? Listen, man, I told you. Okay. They drank and smoked some more. They didn't talk. They were both thinking of the future. It was a hot night. Some of the roomers had their doors open. Most of them had a bottle of wine. The men sat in their undershirts, easy and wondering, and beaten. Some of them even had women. Not too much as ladies, but they could hold their wine. We better get the bottle. We better get another bottle, said Duke, before they close. I don't have any money. I'll get it. Okay. They got up and walked out the door. They turned right down the hall and went toward the back. The liquor store was down the alley and to the left. At the top of the back steps, a man in stained and wrinkled clothing was stretched across the back doorway. Hey, it's my old pal Frankie Cannon. He really hung one on tonight. Guess I'll move him out of the doorway. Harry picked him up by the feet and dragged him out of the way. Then he bent him over. Wonder if anybody's got to him yet. I don't know, said Duke. Check him out. Duke pulled off Frankie's pockets inside out, checked the shirt, opened his pants, checked him around the waist. All he found was a matchbook that said, Learn drafting at home. Thousands of top-pay jobs waiting. I guess somebody got him, said Harry. They walked down the back steps and into the alley. Are you sure that gold is there? Asked Duke. Listen, said Harry, you're pissing me off. You think I'm crazy? No. Well, then don't ask me no more. They walked into the liquor store. Duke ordered a fifth of whiskey and a tall six-pack of malt beer. Harry stole a bag of mixed nuts. Duke paid for his stuff and they walked out. Just as they got to the alley, a young woman walked up. Well, young for that area. She was about 30 with a good figure, but her hair was uncombed and she slurred a bit. What you guys got in that bag? Cat's tits, said Duke. She got up near Duke and rubbed against the bag. I don't want to drink no wine. You got whiskey in there? Sure, baby. Come on up. Let me see the bottle. She looked good to Duke. She was slim and her dress was tight. Real shit-ass tight. God damn. He pulled the bottle out. Okay, she said. Let's go. They walked up the alley, the girl between them. Her haunch bumped Harry as she walked. Harry grabbed her and kissed her. She broke off. You son of a bitch, she screamed. Let me alone. You're going to spoil everything, Harry, said Duke. You do that again, I'm going to punch you out. You can't punch me out. Just don't do it again. They walked up the alley and up the stairways. opened the door. The girl looked at Frankie Cannon laying there but didn't say anything. She walked on up to the room. The girl sat down and crossed her legs. She had nice legs. "My name's Ginny," she said. Duke poured the drinks. "I'm Duke. He's Harry." Ginny smiled and took her drink. "Some son of a bitch I'm staying with, he kept me naked, kept my clothes locked in a closet. I was in there a week. I waited until he passed out, took the key off him, got this dress and ran off." "That's a nice dress." "It's all right. It brings out the best in you." "Thanks. Hey, listen, what do you guys do?" "Do?" asked Duke. "Yeah, I mean, how do you make it?" "We're gold prospectors," said Harry. "Oh, come on, don't give me that shit." "That's right," said Duke. "We're gold prospectors. We've struck it. We're going to be rich inside a week," said Harry. Then Harry left to get up to piss. The can was down the hall. When Harry left, Ginny said, "I want to fuck you first, honey. I'm not too crazy about him." "That's okay," said Duke. He poured 3 more drinks. When Harry came back, Duke told him, "She's going to lay me first." "Says who?" "Says us," said Duke. "That's right," said Ginny. "I think we ought to take her with us," said Duke. "Let's see how she lays first," said Harry. I drive men crazy," said Ginny. "I make men scream. I've got the tightest pussy in the state of California." "All right," said Duke. "Let's find out." "Give me another drink first," she said, draining her glass. Duke gave her a refill. "I've got something too, baby. I'll probably rip you wide open." "Not unless you stick your foot in there," said Harry. Ginny just smiled as she drank. She finished her drink. Come on, she said to Duke. "Let's make it." Ginny walked over to the bed and pulled her dress off. She had on blue panties and a faded pink brassiere, held together by a safety pin in the back. Duke had to undo the safety pin. "Is he going to watch?" she asked Duke. "He can if he wants," said Duke. "What the hell?" "Okay," said Ginny. They got into the sheets together. There were some minutes of warm-up and maneuvering as Harry watched. The blanket was on the floor. The blanket was on the floor. All Harry could see was movement under a rather dirty sheet. Then Duke mounted. Harry could see Duke's butt bobbing under the sheet. Then Duke said, "Oh, shit!" What's the matter?" asked Ginny. "I slipped out. I thought you said you had a tight box." I'll put you in. I don't even think you were in." "I was in somewhere," said Duke. Then Duke's butt was bobbing again. "I never should have told that son of a bitch about the gold," thought Harry. "Now we got that bitch on our hands. They might team against me. Of course, if he happened to get killed, she might like me better." Then Ginny moaned and started talking. "Oh, honey. Oh, Jesus, honey, oh my God." What a bunch of bullshit, thought Harry. He got up and walked over to the back window. The back of the hotel was right near the Vermont turnoff on the Hollywood freeway. He watched the headlights and taillights of the cars. It always amazed him that some people were in such a hurry to go in one direction, while other people were in such a hurry to go in another. Somebody had to be wrong, or else it was just a dirty game. Then he heard Ginny's voice. "I'm gonna come! Oh my God, I'm gonna come! Oh my God, I'm..." Bullshit, he thought, and turned to look at them. Duke was really working. Ginny's eyes did seem glazed. She stared straight up into the ceiling, straight up into an unshaded light bulb, glazed, seemingly glazed as she stared up past Duke's left ear. I might have to shoot him out in that artillery field, thought Harry. Especially if she's got a tight box. Gold. All that gold. The end. Hey, Mona. Hey, Sandy. That was All the Pussy We Want. All the Pussy We Want by Charles Bukowski. The most beautiful woman in town and other stories. Did you guys like the story? Hey, Scott. Long time no see, man. How are you? No thoughts on the story? You want to hear another one? Let's see. Let's do the white beard. Okay, this is called The White Beard by Charles Bukowski, the most beautiful woman in town. Yeah, I can do another one. It should be fun. And Herb would drill a hole in a watermelon and fuck the watermelon and then force little Talbot, to eat it. We got up at 6:30 a.m. to pick the apples and the pears, and it was near the border, and the bombing shook the earth as he yanked at the apples and the pears, trying to be a good guy, trying for the ripe ones only, and then climbing down to piss. It was cold in the mornings, and having a little bit of hash in the john. What it all meant, nobody knew. We were tired and we didn't care. We were thousands of miles from home in a foreign country and we didn't care. It was as if they had simply dug an ugly hole in the earth and thrown us into it. We only worked for lodging and food and a very small salary and what we could steal. Even the sun didn't act right. It seemed covered with this thin red cellophane, and the rays couldn't get through, so we were always sick. In the infirmary, where all they knew how to do was feed you these huge, cold chickens. The chickens would taste like rubber, and you'd sit up in bed eating these rubber chickens, one after the other, the snot running out of your nose and down your face, the big-ass nurses farting at you. It was so bad in there, you just had to get well, and back into those stupid pear and apple trees. Most of us had run away from something. Women, bills, babies, the inability to cope. We were resting and tired. We were sick and tired. We were done. You shouldn't make him eat that watermelon, I said. Go ahead and eat it, said Herb. Eat it, or so help me, I'll rip your head off your shoulders. Little Talbot would bite into that melon, swallowing seeds and Herb's cum, crying silently. Bored men like to think of things to do to keep from going crazy. Or maybe they went crazy. Little Talbot used to teach algebra in high school in the States, but something had gone wrong and he'd run off to our slop pit, and now he was eating cum laced with watermelon juice. Herb was a big guy, steam shovel hands, black wire beard, and he was full of farts like those nurses. He carried this huge hunting knife and a leather holder on his side. He didn't need it. He could kill anybody without it. Look, Herb, I said, why don't you go out there and end this 1/4 of a war? I'm tired of it. I don't want to upset the balances, said Herb. Talbot was finished with the watermelon. Why don't you check your shorts for shit? He asked Herb. Herb answered him, one more word out of you and you'll be carrying your bunghole in a knapsack. We went out onto the street, and here were all these thin-ass people in shorts, carrying guns and needing shaves. Even some of the women needed shaves. There was the faint smell of shit everywhere, and every now and then, vroom, vroom, you'd hear the bombing. It was one hell of a ceasefire agreement. We went underneath a place to a table and ordered some cheap wine. They burned candles in there. Some Arabs sat on the floor, dazed and listless. One had a raven on his shoulder, and every now and then he'd lift the palm of his hand. The palm had 1 or 2 seeds in it. The raven would peck at them sickly and seemed to have trouble swallowing. Hell of a ceasefire, hell of a raven. Then a young girl of 13 or 14, origin unknown, came and sat at our table. Her eyes were a milky blue, if you can imagine a milky blue, and the poor child was hung with nothing but breasts. She was simply a body. Arms and head, everything else hung to those breasts. The breasts were more enormous than the world, and the world was killing us. Talbot looked at her breasts. Herb looked at her breasts. I looked at her breasts. It was as if we had been visited by the last miracle, and we knew that all the miracles had ended. I reached out and touched one of her breasts. I couldn't help myself. Then I squeezed it. The girl laughed and said in English, "They make you hot, don't they?" I laughed. She was dressed in a yellow see-through, purple bra and panties, green high-heeled shoes, green large earrings. Her face shone as if it had been varnished, and her skin was somewhere between pale brown and dark yellow. Who knows? I'm not a painter. She had tits. She had breasts. It was quite a day. The raven flew around the room once in an untrue circle, landed on the Arab's shoulder. I sat there thinking about the breasts, and about Herb and Talbot too. About Herb and Talbot. How they never mentioned what had brought them there, and how I never mentioned what had brought me there, and how we were such terrible failures, fools in hiding, trying not to think or feel, but still not killing ourselves, hanging on. We belonged there. Then a bomb landed in the street, and the candle on our table fell out of its holder. Herb picked it up, and I kissed the girl, mauling her breasts. I was going crazy. "You want to fuck me?" she asked. When she mentioned the price, it was too high. I told her we were just fruit pickers, and when that was over, we had to go to work the mines. The mines weren't a hell of a lot of fun. The last time the mine had been in the mountain. Instead of digging into the ground, we brought the mountain down from the sky. The ore was in the mountaintop. The only way to get it out was from the bottom, so we drilled the holes upward in a circle, cut the dynamite, stuck the fuses in, and stuck the dynamite in the circle of holes. You laced all the fuses together to one fuse hanging down, lit it and split. You had 2 1/2 minutes to get as far away as possible. Then, after the blast, you came back and shoveled all that shit out of there and repeated the process. You ran up and down this ladder like a monkey. Every now and then you'd just find a hand or a foot and nothing else. The 2 1/2 minutes hadn't been enough. One of the fuses hadn't been improperly constructed. The flame running right up. The manufacturer had fucked up, but he was too far away to care. It was kind of like jumping in a parachute. If it didn't open, there really wasn't anybody to bitch to. I went upstairs with the girl. The place had no windows, and again a candle. There was a mat on the floor. We both sat on the mat. She lit the hash pipe and passed it to me. I took a hook and passed her back. Looked at those breasts again. She looked almost ridiculous tied to those things. It was almost a crime, I said, almost. And, after all, there are other things besides breasts. The things that go with them, for instance. Well, I'd never seen anything like that in America. But in America, of course, when there was something like that, the rich boys took it and hid it until it spoiled or changed. Then they let the rest of us have a run at it. But there I was, bitching about America because they'd run me out. They were always trying to kill me over there, bury me. There was even a poet I'd known, Larsen Castile. He'd written this long poem about me, and in the end they'd find a mound in the snow one morning, and they piled the snow, and it's me. Larsen, you half-ass, I told him, that's just wishful thinking. Then I was on the breasts, sucking first one and then the other. I felt like a baby. At least I felt like I imagined a baby might feel. I felt like weeping because it was so good. I felt as if I could stay there sucking at those breasts forever. The girl didn't seem to mind. In fact, a tear did come down. It was so good, a tear did come down. A tear of placid joy. Sailing, sailing. My God, what men had to learn. I had always been a leg man. My eyes always fastened to the legs. Women climbing out of cars always goofed me up entirely. I didn't know what to do. Like, my God, there's a woman climbing out of a car. I see her legs way up. All that nylon trappings, all that shit. Way up. Too much. Can't stand it. Mercy. Stamp me down with oxen. Yes, it's always too much. Now I was sucking breast. Okay. I got my hands under the breasts, lifted them. Tons of meat. Meat without mouth or eye. Meat, meat, meat. I slammed it into my mouth and flew into heaven. Then I was on her mouth and working at the purple panties. Then I mounted. Steamships sailed by in the dark. Elephants squirted my back with sweat. Blue flowers shook in the wind. Turpentine burned. Moses belched. A rubber inner tube rolled down a green hill. It was over. I hadn't lasted long. Well, hell. She took a little bowl and washed me off, and then I put my clothes on and marched down the stairway. Herb and Talbot waited. The eternal question. How was it? Well, much the same as any other. You mean you didn't fuck the breasts? Damn it! I knew I fucked up somewhere. Herb walked on up. Talbot told me, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him while he sleeps tonight, with his own knife. Tired of eating watermelon? I never did like watermelon. You gonna try her? I might as well. The trees are almost empty. I guess we'll be going to the mine soon. At least Herb won't be smelling up the shafts with his farts. Oh yes, I forgot, you're going to kill him. Yes, tonight with his own knife. You won't spoil it, will you? It's none of my business. I figure you told me in secrecy. Thanks. Think nothing of it. Then Herb came down. The steps shook as he walked. The whole place shook. You couldn't tell the bombing from Herb. Then he bombed. You could hear it. Flrrr. Then you could smell it all over. An Arab who had been sleeping against the wall awakened, swore, and ran out into the street. I rammed it into her breasts, said Herb. Then a sea had come under her chin. When she stood up, it hung there like a white beard. She needed 2 towels to mop it up. When they built me, they threw away the mold. When they built you, they forgot to flush, said Talbot. Herb just grinned at him. You gonna try her, little titmouse? No, I've changed my mind. Chicken, eh? That figures. No, I've got something else on my mind. Probably some guy's cock. Maybe you're right. You've given me an idea. It doesn't take that much imagination. Just stick it in your mouth. Do what you want to. That isn't what I had in mind. Yeah? What'd you have in mind? Up your butt, then? You'll find out. I'll find out, eh? What do I care what you do with some guy's cock? Then Talbot laughed. Little Titmouse is crazy. He's been eating too much watermelon. Maybe he has, I said. We had a couple of rounds of wine and then got out. It was our day off, but our money was gone. Nothing to do but go back, lay in our bunks, wait for sleep. It got cold there at night, and there wasn't any heat, and they just gave you 2 thin blankets. You just pull all your clothes on top of the blankets, coats, shirts, shorts, towels, everything, dirty clothes, clean clothes, everything. And when Herb farted, you pulled it all over your head. We walked back on in, and I felt very sad. There was nothing I could do. The apples didn't care, the pears didn't care. America had tossed us out, or we had run away. A shell landed on top of a school bus 2 blocks up. They had been bringing children back from a picnic. As we walked by, there were pieces of children everywhere. The blood was heavy on the road. Poor kids, said Herb. They'll never get laid. I figured they had been. We walked on. The end. The dark one. That's good to hear, Jessica. Hey, Jeanette. Which one did you guys like better? The white beard or all the pussy we want? Right? It's one of my favorite things about Charles Bukowski. Thanks for being here, Neil. It's fun hanging out. Got just a little bit longer left here, too. 20 minutes till 4:20, and then I'll sing a song and swallow the pill, and we'll be done. Oh, Jeanette, let's get you a supporter shout out. Trell. Thank you. I'm just gonna do a real quick load of dishes. Jeanette. Oh, that's so scary. Happy 420. Oh, that's horrible news. Hey, Julie. Happy 420. Thank you, Jeanette and Sheriff, for sharing. Sorry, you guys. It's really it's awful when our kids struggle.
Hey, I finished watching a movie.
Just look on here.
You know the movie I watched?
What movie?
It was Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
I've heard of that before.
Joan
Oh,
Crawford
yeah,
and
she beat her with a hanger. My mom always talked about
Betty Davis, I believe. It was really good.
it.
It was kind of fucked up. I was surprised how good it was. This is dirty.
I'm gonna sing now.
I recorded it, or I mean I rented it.
What made you do that?
I don't know, it looks good.
I think my mom always talked about that movie.
Oh, there's stinks in here. Oh, shoot. Ouch.
In just a breathless moment now, the violin will sound. I'll hold you close, and this is how I'll dance you into my heart. I'll dance you up, I'll dance you down. We'll dance the night away. I'll dance you to the end of time and to the brink of day. I'll see you standing there with the star fall in your hair, and I'll ask you if you care. We'll go waltzing with me in the air, and we'll step into a magic spell and leave the earth below. I'll dance you to a fairly well and never let you go. I'll hold you close, and this is how I'll dance you into my heart. I'll dance you up, I'll dance you down. We'll dance the night Good night, old friends and new. We've come once again to the anticlimax. It only takes us 4 hours to get here, but we made it. All right. So some of you might be wondering what the show is about. People often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live in the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 988 pills, 988 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell. Boy, does she now hell, heck. This show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment. With Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on the 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble, and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. You have me getting here late, Joseph. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, but at least you made it. I don't expect lay people to fully understand as this is a advanced social science. Could I share? Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show. Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy. Nanu, Nanu. A dash of Mr. Ed and two doses of Alice in Wonderland. A helping of Hee-Haw. Heaps of Benny Hill. A hint of the Highlander. Tons of the Twilight Zone. A tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island is a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour, piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye, I Am What I Am, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from Transsexual Transylvania. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I want to be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me, creature of the night, an undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoon full of Mary Poppins in the full Monty Python, finally lumping Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the sky with diamonds and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. April will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first on the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and seamstresses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP. or pre-exposure protocol, the pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me, bareback, all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo! All right. Pill number 988. Down the hatch. We are robot. And it's down. Thank you all for being here. I hope the results were worth it though, Joseph. I hope the results were worth it. Woo-hoo. Alright. We made it to the end again. Alright, this is the house that Jack built. This is the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cock that crowed in the morn that woke the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the farmer that sowed the corn that fed the cock that crowed in the morn that woke the priest all shaven and shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. We made it. We made it. Good night, Jessica. Good night, everyone. Good night, Brent. Thank you all for being here tonight. I had a good time. There's a lot of good questions, a lot of good discussion. The stories were fun to read. You are all great, and I love you all. So, come back tomorrow. I'll have more ideas for you. You'll have things you want to talk about, and so will I. But alas, now it's time to say goodbye. I love you all.